So I mentioned juice a little bit a while back, and that's sort of a term used to describe about how a game feels. Like if a game feels good, it sort of has good game juice of like. And we're gonna add a very simple effect here. We're gonna add a simple example of that. So behavior, add behavior. We are looking for jump through. Jump through is useful actually as a behavior. Thinking about it, I want one. Flash is also good if you collect something. Perhaps you want your character to flash on and off, and in fact we will use that. We'll add flash for when we collect our power up, and that's sort of another way of letting the player know. So destroy, add player, and we're going to say, where's our flash gone? Flash on time, off time, so like a second of flash. Let's have a look. So we collect it, bloop. There we go. So that's a simple thing we can add. We can also add, but I can't remember where. Shake. Here it is. So add an event player, and we're going to add a bit of camera shake when we land our big jump. So is on landed. And we're going to say, shake the camera, make it feel like we're huge and powerful. Shake. Magnitude. Okay, this might be quite good fun. You can set how much you want it to shake when you land. There we go. So now suddenly we feel big and powerful. Again, you can tone that down. You can make it a little bit smaller, but perhaps a little bit is fine. 10. I'm going to say by 2. Perhaps again, you don't need to. Again, this is up to you. This is your game, but perhaps you only want to do it once you've collected the double jump, or perhaps you want it to shake when you double jump. That could be another way. So if you want to do it just when you double jump, you click add, and we're adding another condition, and the other condition is it's going to check if double jump is enabled. Will it let me do that? Is double jump enabled? So if double jump is enabled, then we will shake the screen when we land. So we're landing normally, we collect our double jump. Oh, I've gone so high. Smash when we hit the floor. And that's just a way of just adding a little bit of flavour to the game, I guess. You could do that with flash when we touch an enemy as well. And let's do that now. So let's bring in our old friend. Put them on the ground. Let's give them the sign behavior again, just so they're doing something. Sign. And we're going to say, and again at this point you should be quite used to on collides with, because we're using it a lot. When our player touches our enemy, where are we? On collision with another object. When it touches the enemy, we are going to do a couple of things. We're going to click player, and we're going to make it feel like something else has happened before we restart the layout. So what we're going to do is we are going to set it to flash, and it's going to flash for a second, but we're going to do something else. So at the moment, we'll hit it, and we'll flash. So, if we had damage in the game and stuff, that would be useful, but we don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to add flash, but we're also going to go to player, and we're going to turn off the platform controls. So it's going to look like we've sort of paused for a second. We're going to we're going to turn the behavior off. We're going to put it above. So what will happen now is when we touch it, we'll stop playing. So we're sort of stuck in the area where we've been hit. And then we know it's going to last a second. So after lasting a second, we're then going to say system, and then we're going to say restart layout. So what should happen now is, rather than when we just touched it before, and where we touch this and it's just instant game over, we touch this. Oh, we need to get it to wait. It's doing it straight away, that's the problem. So we'll go down here, we'll say wait for 1 second, and then restart layout. So that's a little bit more like we've hit a game over thing then. So, and then it starts. Okay, so it's like, oh, I've been caught. I've got. Game over. Might be half a second is all we need for that. 0.5. And again, it's your game. It's your feel. How do you want it to move? How do you want it to dictate? But that sort of looks more like you've been caught now. So that could be useful. That could be good. Wonder if there's any other sort of juice things we can add. Particle effects are quite good. Little bits of dust. Let's see if that works. Let's lock this layer so then we're not clicking on the background every time. Double click, let's say particles. And you can play around with these. They're good fun, particles. We're going to say the color of our particles, let's say this sort of turquoise for sort of dust. And that's our particle shape. And if we play the game at the moment, we've got it's just sort of farting them out, which is not quite what we want. So if we go down here, we've got our, again, it won't let us preview, but that's okay because we just run our layout. We want a one shot. So now if we one shot, it goes and off it goes. And we want to rotate it. And we do that by grabbing the edge here. So you see where we can control the size. We want to rotate it up. And the reason we're going to rotate it up is because we're going to do it when we land a jump. It's going to play this effect, so it's going to give us a little bit more juice when we hit the floor. So we're going to click on here, the spray cone. So that's the number of degrees. We're going to set that to 180, I think. There you go. So that's flat. Again, we can set angle. It needs to be 270. And we're going to say the rate. We're going to make it number of particles created per second. Yeah, we're going to make that a lot smaller. I think we're going to do about 10. And I think we're going to make our object way smaller than that as well. And so let's make this, I'll say 8 by 8 actually. See what that does. It might be too much, might be not enough. That's still a lot, isn't it? Make it a bit smaller. See what that's like. Let's try 4 by 4. Getting really tiny now. Still, that isn't affecting the size of it, is it? It's me doing something else that's doing that. Type, image, edit. We can get it to spawn other objects, make it do other objects, which is quite good fun. Initial particle properties, speed. Okay, size 32. My mistake. It's down here. Look, it's me not looking at everything properly. There we go. That's a little bit nicer. I think we probably need it to speed, size, opacity. Change our speed to 100 because at the moment it's doing, say, 20. So it's up to you to adjust, getting it to the size you want it to be, all of that kind of thing. I want to say 50. I'm going to change that down to 15. And what I want is when I hit the floor, I want it to spawn one of them, okay? And it will do that by, again, so we've got our platform, our player, sorry. So our player, platform, on landed, and we could do it on jump as well, actually. We'll see how it feels. On landed, and we're going to say player, spawn another object, spawn another object, click to choose, we're going to say particles, and we're going to say click done, and let's see what that does when we land. So we are spawning them a little bit, so as we jump we're making little sort of dust clouds. And that's okay actually. I think that's not too bad. But we can play with those effects. We can play with the order we want to happen. In fact, if we go Z order, we can bring that to the top of the layer. And that should make a difference when we jump. So there we go. Oh, we're doing it. It's spawning from the origin point there. So it's spawning it from there. So perhaps we want that actually quick assign just straight at the bottom, and then it will spawn it like we're hitting the floor. We can't see it too well, but it is doing it there. So again, you can mess with the cone size, things with that, like that. I would do it with, let's try it on jump. That might be Sunfloor on jump. That might look a little bit more like we're sort of, there we are. So we've got a little sort of as if we're leaving the ground, and you can play around with that. You can play with the cone, the shape, the speed, how much it distributes. You could, yeah, you could play around with that. It's your, as I said, it's your level. I'm just giving you bits and pieces to do and to play with. But you've got some basic particle effects there. Let's get doing a bit more though. Let's go really over the top. Let's say we're gonna make 30 spray cone, one shot. Yep, that's fine. Speed. Let's go up to 100. Let's make the size of this. Let's go 16 by 16. Let's go a little bit bigger. And we're going to change the color to the. We're going to change the color to the green, as if it's sort of we're kicking it off the ground. If that makes sense. So we'll land. Oh, it hasn't changed color. Oh, I didn't. I know what I didn't do. Yeah, let's see what it does. There you go. So sort of, yeah, you could play around with it. It's up to you, the intensity, but we've now got it so it's sort of leaving as we jump. We're leaving sort of ground particles farting into the air as we go. And in fact, with the double jump, that's quite good. That looks alright, doesn't it? And again, play around with it to see how you want it to do, how you want to look. It's up to you.